This might be the most insane thing the MCU has ever produced. I never thought I would see zombies utilize the full extent of the Infinity Stones. I never thought I would see the magnitude of fights between superheroes in this that I've always wanted to see. Two superpowered Goliaths going at it. I never thought I would see Hulk at his strongest peak after 10 freaking years. After going into the quantum realm and contracting a virus that spreads across the world, we get Marvel Zombies. A story in which we have our central protagonist, Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, I think is her name. A lot of people hated the idea of this. Our main characters being a ragtag team of the younger generation of Avengers trying to save the old ones. This was cringe to a lot of people. Now, let me tell you one thing about Kamala. I don't dislike her. In fact, I don't mind Kamala, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because unlike the other female characters that the MCU loves to glaze, despite them having no fucking personality and being statues that like to outshine everyone, cough cough, Captain Marvel, cough cough, Valkyrie, Kamala actually has personality. She's like a geek. She's a fan of other heroes like I am. So that makes her a tad bit more relatable and funny and likable. So I'm not going to, on one hand, hate characters like Captain Marvel and Valkyrie, and then also hate characters like Miss Marvel, because those two things don't conflict. Yes, it can be annoying and cringe at times to put them in the forefront, but I didn't mind her. And in the first episode, literally Captain Marvel and Icarus are fighting. Zombie Icarus from Eternals and Captain Marvel are fighting. I never thought I wanted to see this matchup ever. But the moment I saw it, I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty cool ass matchup. And that's the thing. This show gives me a lot of very cool matchups that I didn't think I'd see. And then we have the Queen of the Dead. There's going to be spoilers in here. Spoiler warning, alright? Wanda Maximoff is the key villain of this entire show. Of course she is. Wanda Maximoff is a bipolar, schizophrenic psychopath and a terrorist. And in every single role she has in the Marvel Universe outside of Infinity War and Ultron has been a terrorist. And even in Ultron, she caused everything. Basically, she's controlling all these zombies. Why? Because she wants an army of the dead. Why? Well, something happened in Wakanda. Thanos had the Infinity Stones, all of them, and was ready to use the Infinity Gauntlet and wipe everyone out. Now, this is zombie Thanos. He was defeated by the Avengers, but in turn, the Infinity Stones blew the fuck up. And we're going to get to exactly how that happened because it makes no sense. But they blew the fuck up. And all this energy was released. And Wanda wanted that energy so she can rewrite reality and save humanity from this virus. But in order to maintain and contain this infinite energy before it exploded the entire universe, someone had to absorb it and maintain it. Be like the Atlas holding the world on their shoulders. And that was the Hulk! Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Hulk has become Infinity Hulk in Marvel Zombies, containing all the infinite power of the stones within his body, being an anchor point for that energy. And Wanda Maximoff wants it for herself. So Wanda Maximoff is unleashing her possessed zombie horde to fight the forces of the Avengers to get Hulk's power. That's a fucking pretty cool plotline if you ask me. She needs Kamala Khan. We're gonna get to that plot point. Let's go through the pros, the highlights of this show. The things that this is what you're watching the show for, okay? Blade Knight, I guess. Moon Knight, the god possessing Moon Knight, Khonshu, whatever is in his body. Blade is a badass, and what I love about Blade is you never see him get outshined or neutered by any of the other young dumbass fucking Avengers. He literally puts people in their place. Not only does he kick ass, loads, and he has some of the best action scenes in here, he shows time and time again who's boss. He shows it to Valkyrie, he puts Valkyrie in her place. I fucking love that. He fucking nukes Ghost. Ghost try to fuck with him, he's like, no, fuck this. And he's just a badass. No one can say anything to Blade. He's like Riddick. The way he speaks, his quotes, all of that. He's a fucking badass, and he knows what's coming because he has the power of a god in him now too, plus being a vampire. This is like, I want a Blade movie so badly. And I love seeing this dude because, is it Mahershala Ali voicing him? I think it might be, I don't know. But this is our first like preview of what Blade could be in the MCU, and it's fucking great. Namor, as a zombie in the ocean, is a menace. He's a menace to society. He's borderline, he's nigh unstoppable, by the way. All our Avengers struggle against this brother in a submarine. He's nuking everybody, ripping people in half, cutting heads off. He's terrifying. I love Namor as a zombie in this. I got to see Thor and Wanda Maximoff fight, two of the strongest Avengers. Yes, the fight could have lasted longer, I guess, but Thor was low-key slapping Wanda up here. And in a live-action MCU movie, Disney would never allow that. They would have Wanda running circles around this man. But Thor was low-key whooping her up before he lost and turned into a zombie. But whatever, that happened off screen. We don't acknowledge that. But they were fighting, bro. They were literally shooting each other into ceilings and shit. Thor was getting the better of all. Bro, Thor was nuking everybody. When you see Thor go off in this, it's badass. It's hype. Okay? Look at that! Where has this Thor been? Love and Thunder, my ass! And then Zombie Thor. Don't even get me, bro. When Zombie Thor comes down, when Wanda possesses Zombie Thor, it is one of the coolest like entrances I've ever seen in the MCU, especially with that hammer of his and his red eyes. God damn. We're gonna get to what happened directly after that scene, okay? Valkyrie is way more likable in animated form than she is live action. Thank God, because Tessa Thompson's performance actually ruins this character. I think she only voiced her, but the way she's written, she respects Thor as the king. She doesn't try to gloat and outshine people, and is not this stoic, non-personality having fucking weeping angel statue. No, she's chill. She's cool. I actually like her. She's like a better version of what she was in Ragnarok. Hulk, otherwise known as Infinity Hulk, having all the power of the Infinity Stones. Now, he should be way more powerful than he was in this show. We're gonna get to that. This is the first time Hulk has been badass since Thor Ragnarok, which came out in 2017. I think that's 7-8 years ago. Bruh, we missed you, my man. And granted, you don't really see Bruce Banner or the Hulk's personality. This is just Hulk with the Infinity Stone powers in him. And bro, he one-shots Abomination and an army of zombies. There's a bunch of giant zombies that try to step on him. He literally whips their throats out. Like, this is what I want to see. I want to see, but this is like the closest I ever saw to World War Hulk, except the zombie form. I fucking love this. You got to see Zombie Thor and Infinity Hulk fighting. And Infinity Hulk breaks his face. Remember, these, even though they're zombies, they still have all their superpowers. They're still as strong. I think they're as durable. I saw Captain Marvel and Icarus fight like they would normally, so I assume they are. Hulk breaks his face. It's amazing. I got to see shit I'd never imagined seeing in live action. I gotta thank this show for that, man. And again, I think Miss Marvel, despite people hating it, I think she's a good protagonist. There's a couple things that don't make sense with her, though, at the end. We're gonna get to that. But she's also OP as fuck, by the way. We need to get this out of the way. She's one of the most powerful Marvel heroes ever. She saves the main team of heroes multiple times with her energy projection powers, with her freaking amulet or whatever. Like, that amulet's OP. She's like Green Lantern. She's like literally has Green Lantern's powers. Baron Zemo is in this, and he's basically hijacked the raft. You know that prison in the ocean for superheroes? He hijacked it and turned it into a submarine that humans can survive on while zombies are wrecking havoc over the lands. Like, it's crazy. And there's a fucking underwater fight where Zombie Atlantis comes and attacks their ship led by Namor. It's awesome. Red Guardian and Captain America fight. It's awesome. There's a lot of death. Hawkeye Jr., Haley Steinfeld, gets obliterated in the first episode. Yelena sacrifices herself, her mother dies. Like, bro, a lot of people die. Blade gets incinerated by Thor in this. Yeah. Only 4 episodes. You could have used a 5th, but short and sweet, didn't overstay its welcome. I gotta give it credit. I enjoyed it. This is not, oh, we're having episodes for filler and making this a 13, 15 episode season. No. There's no filler here at all. We're going from one point to one point to point A to point B as fast as we can. We're getting right to the point. There are some plot holes and things that just don't make any fucking sense. And they have to be mentioned. It's an animated thing, so we can give more leeway to it than live action, because live action we'd have way more problems, but you can't ignore these, okay? Now, the main team of heroes that are going up against the zombies, a lot of people hate the fact that we have this, the leftovers of Marvel rather than the OG Avengers, or the cool ones, right? Now, I don't mind Miss Marvel or Yelena, but Shang-Chi's team has a lot of annoying people in it. There's one dude who just makes jokes insufferably, and I'm so glad he got his ass whooped and died. And you have his friend. I don't know why his friend... You know Shang-Chi's friend, the chick from his movie? Why is she even in this? Get her out. She's not annoying to the point where she ruins the show or anything, but you couldn't find any... You couldn't have a Guardians of the Galaxy person in here instead? You couldn't have Peter Quill or Rocket? Really? I really would have loved to see more OG Avengers. Like, Hawkeye is a zombie in this, Captain America is a zombie in this, I get it. But the only character from this team that really stood out to me is Blade. I would have loved to see other characters, like more of actual Doctor Strange, not whoever the fuck they use. They use Scott Lang's head with Doctor Strange's cape. Okay, I haven't seen all of What If, so there are things I'm missing, but I think we needed more familiar faces than just fucking Shang-Chi's 2 random friends. Spider-Man's barely in this. He's promoted a lot in the trailer. You see him wielding Stormbreaker. You see him ripping off a bunch of zombies' heads. Those scenes are in the show and they're cool, but they're like the only major action scenes he has. I wish we had more of them, and I get it. Tom Holland isn't back to voice him, so maybe that's why they didn't use him as much, but would have loved to see more of him. And I don't think the show realizes how strong the gauntlet is, or how strong the Infinity Stones are. Thanos has the gauntlet, and because he's a zombie and doesn't have a fucking brain that works properly, he's not able to use and focus the gauntlet and use his full power. But then he starts learning, and T'Challa sees this. There's a point where he has all the stones and he goes full Infinity Gauntlet mode, and basically the way they defeat him makes no sense. Basically, there's a hole drilled into the vibranium core of Wakanda. A lot of energy down there. So T'Challa, using his kinetic energy burst from his suit, runs at Thanos, hits him, and the kinetic energy bursts Thanos into the hole, and Thanos just falls and dies, and the Infinity Gauntlet breaks and the gems explode and causes a wave of energy. It doesn't make any sense. First of all, this dude just took Stormbreaker to the chest. You're not going to convince me that T'Challa solo was able to push him down into that core and stop him from jumping up or leveling up. Like, Thanos is just falling like this, powerless. Makes no sense. This guy just, by the way, wiped the floor with Thor and Rocket Raccoon and Groot. He falls into the vibranium core, which I guess incinerates Thanos' physical body, and then breaks the gauntlet, and the Infinity Stones collapse and explode. And the power is absorbed by Hulk. How it's absorbed by Hulk? I mean, I know the radiation for them is gamma, but it's not explained how any of this occurs. To the point where I'm like, this kind of makes the fucking fights in Infinity War pointless, because like this is the easiest way I've ever seen Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet be wiped out. I get it, he's a zombie, he's not focused, but he's learning. He's getting smarter within minutes of this fight. It just didn't make sense. And then Hulk. Infinity Hulk should not have a problem or break a sweat against anyone that Wanda is throwing at him. Wanda sends her horde of zombies at him. She has Asgardian ships firing on him. She has giant people jumping on him. Hulk is wiping the floor with them, but Hulk is also getting wounded and slashed. And he's to the point where he has to kneel down in pain. I'm like, bro, you are literally the Infinity Stone's essence in one being. How the fuck are you not easily wiping the floor with all of them? Wanda, I get it, she's a reality warper, but you can't wipe the floor with anything else? You can't take any of these shots? Like, people will say, okay, well, Hulk is holding the power of the stones, but he's not using it. Bullshit! He's literally one-punching everybody. MCU Hulk normally cannot do that. This guy's not one-punching Abomination and breaking Thor's face with a punch. I'm sorry. Clearly, he's using the power of the stones. And speaking of that fight, I love the fight between him and Thor, but Thor is easily able to stab his body. How? How are Thanos and Hulk, when getting the full power of the gauntlet, how are their bodies even taking damage at all? Especially Hulk, who's absorbed it all. Now, granted, Hulk beats his ass easily afterwards, but it just doesn't make sense. He shouldn't struggle with any of these idiots. I love seeing Hulk wipe the floor with all these morons, but the fact that he's taking damage doesn't make sense. Now we're gonna get to the ending. Wanda has a goal. She wants to rewrite all of reality, and she needs Kamala's help to do it. For some reason, she needs Kamala. Why? I don't know. I think I might be missing something. I don't know if Kamala is like a secret god or whatever, or maybe it's her bracelet or whatever, but Wanda needs to grab her hand and share the power of the Infinity Stones that they're absorbing from Hulk's body to rewrite reality. But why Kamala? I feel like there's stronger bodies that you could use, like Thor or Spider-Man. Like I don't understand why Kamala. Is it just because of her bracelet and the energy? She's obsessed with Kamala, like she was with America Chavez. But America Chavez had an ability that made sense, right? She can go from universe to universe. Kamala just has like energy projection ability. I don't know. Maybe Kamala is more powerful than I think. But so Wanda wins, which I give the show props for making the villain win at the end. But like, Wanda claims that she's saving everybody from the zombie virus, but when she grabs Kamala's hand and then they basically rewrite all of reality, this entire universe is replaced and destroyed and replaced. Kamala wakes up to a virtual simulated reality that Wanda's created, similar to that town that she took over, where her life is completely normal here, everything's back to normal, she's with her friends. But then the simulation wears off and she starts to see what reality really is, and there's still a zombie war happening, and this is like a simulation Wanda's created for her. So Wanda Maximoff basically didn't do anything. She made everyone zombies, I guess, or because you see Riri Williams and Haley Steinfeld's Hawkeye fighting zombies, so everything's the same as it was. So what did Wanda actually do? And why does she want the world to be zombies? Why not rewrite it? Like, what the fuck does Wanda get from a world? Maybe it's her zombie brain, maybe the virus infected her brain and she wants everyone to become zombies, but from the looks of what happened, the world hasn't changed much. Kamala's in a simulation, and then she wakes up in the simulation and sees Riri Williams and is back again. So I'm like, what did Wanda actually do? If anything, she didn't do anything. And why does Wanda benefit from a world full of zombies? Do you guys understand? By the way, let me just say this. Wanda Maximoff is still hot in animated form, okay? But okay, do you guys are getting my point about Wanda Maximoff? This woman is mentally ill. Every time we see her do villainous shit, it doesn't make any sense. Her motivations are R-word. Like, they're stupid. You want to rewrite reality and save everyone, so you're going to make the world the same? Or zombie, even more zombies? Like, why, Wanda? Why? I don't know. Maybe we need a season 2. It's probably what we need, but like, I just don't get it. Would I miss something? I don't know. I don't understand what, why? So that's all I have to say about that. Like, I don't understand. I feel like those plot holes like really confuse the fuck out of me. Like, how are the Infinity Stones so fucking pathetic in this, and the wielder of the stones is so pathetic, and why is Wanda doing anything like this at all? And why did she need Kamala of all people? You guys don't know what I mean? This is the problem when you try to make main characters like Kamala in there, right? Because then you try to give them more importance than they normally would have, and that can annoy a lot of fans. But like, I like Kamala and all, but I just don't see why Wanda needed her. So yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm at a loss for words for though, but I really enjoyed it. It gave me a lot of things I liked as a fan. It was a lot of fanfare. I thought the story was pretty good. It just ended in a way that was really fucking confusing and had a lot of plot holes, and that is an issue. But besides that, this is the craziest shit I've ever seen. This is one of my favorite things Marvel has put out recently, and it's one of the craziest things I've seen them ever put out, ever, period. Point blank. You'll never see half of the shit done in live action, unfortunately, which is why I appreciate it. Let's appreciate it while it's here, y'all. All right? Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on a mission to take over Hollywood. But the army must keep growing. If you want to suggest video topics to me, or talk about your favorite movies or favorite film theories in a community with like-minded individuals, join the Zafy Discord now. Link is in the description and the comment section as well. Join us. This movement is just beginning. We're taking over Hollywood, one coke line at a time.